You're welcome to FUNNYMATH page. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about significant figures, how to round numbers to stated number of significant figures. So now let's begin. In fact, the word significant means, something important. Something, essential. So with that said, are we trying to say that some numbers are essential or some numbers are important than the others? Or some numbers are not even important at all? I want to say, are all numbers significant? Is it that some of them are significant and others are not significant? That is a question that, you should, ask yourself. What you have to know is that all numbers are significant. In fact, all numbers are significant, with the exception of 0, where, it is significant depending on its position. This is what I want to say. For example, when I write, let's say 0, 0, 0, 4, 5. This number is obviously going to be 45. The three zeros here are not important. They are not significant. But the same number, when I change it like this, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 3 zeros like this, so that's going to be 45,000. In this case, the 3 zeros here are significant. Now, when I change it like this, 405, this is 405. The 0 here is significant. So that means that 0 cannot be generally be classified as not significant. It depends on the position of 0 in a particular figure or number. So that is all you have to know. So we have some numbers here that we are going to answer. We are going to correct the numbers to stated number of significant figures. So now let's begin. Correct these numbers to the stated number of significant figures. So the numbers are here, and these are the stated number of significant figures. So this is 1 significant figure, 3 significant figures, and what have you. So now let's begin. But before we begin, this is something that you have to know. If you want to round a certain number or correct a certain number to a stated number of significant figures, first of all, you should be able to identify the first significant figure. Yeah, that is what you're supposed to know. Because if you don't know the first significant figure, you can go ahead and locate the the actual number that you want to round or correct your number to. So that is what you have to know. And how do we identify, or how do we get our first significant figure? This is the statement that we use to identify that. The first significant figure is the first non-zero number from left to right of a certain number. So given this particular number, as you move from left to right, from this position, from here to here, the first number that you meet, which is not 0, is the first significant figure. So in this case, as we move from here, from left to right, we are meeting 3 or 4 zeros. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. All these zeros here are not significant. So this means that 2 is going to be the first significant figure. And the moment we get our first significant figure, the others, the numbers that follow, they are all significant, or they are all going to be significant. So in this case, 5 is going to be, the second significant figure. So that is what you have to know. So let me state it again. The first significant figure is the first non-zero number from left to right of a given number. That is what you have to know. So now, the idea for rounding numbers to stated number of decimal places, to the nearest 10, to the nearest 100, and what have you, is actually the same as rounding numbers to the stated number of significant figures. So let's begin with the first one here. You have to correct this number to, one significant figure. So like I just said, the first significant figure is going to be 2. So you have to locate these 2 to check the number behind. The number behind is going to be 5. As we all know, we compare the number, from 0 to 5, to 4, and that of 5 to 9. If the number falls within this range, it means we don't add 1 to the preceding number. But if it is within this range, 5 to 9, we add 1 to the preceding number, or the underlying number. So in this case, 5 here is within this range. So we are going to add 1 to the preceding number, which is 2. So we are going to get 3 here. I hope you understand that. So we maintain these 0.000. So that's going to be 0.000. And now this 2 turn to what? 3. So that is our answer. In fact, we are not going to attach 0 here. This 5 is not going to be turned to 0. The moment you do that, you've done, or we have corrected this number to 2 significant figures. So that is how we write our final answer. Let's move on to the next one, which is 3 significant figures. So let's look at our third significant figure. But before that, the first significant figure is going to be 3, obviously, because that's the first non-zero number from left to right of this particular number. So this is first, second, third. So that will land here. So that's going to be this. Yeah. So now we have to look, or we have to check the number behind, and the number behind is going to be 8. I mean, it falls within this range, 5 to 9. So we're going to add 1 to this 5, making 6. That means that we maintain all these numbers and we change this one to 6. So that's going to be 0 point, 0, 0, 3, 8, 6. So that's the correct answer. Let's move on to the next one, to two significant figures. So this is the first significant figure, the second. So that's going to be here. We land here. The number behind is 5. Once again, it falls within the same range. I mean, we have to add 1 to the 4. So we're going to get 5 here. So our answer is going to be 0 0.025. So let's move on to the last one for these numbers. With this one too, we have to correct to, 3 significant figures. So let's locate the number. So this is going to be the first, the second, and the third. I mean, that's the number here. We check the number behind, still more than, 5, or it falls within the second range. So we're going to add 1 to 9. So let's see what is going to happen. When you add 1 to 9, this is going to be 10. And we can't write 10 here. So we're going to write this one, we're going to write 0. When we shift the 1 to this, here 2 becomes 10 once again. So here we write 0, again. Then we shift the remainder, which is 1 to 8. So here's going to be what? 9. Then we have our point, something like this. So this is how we're going to get our answer. So our answer is going to be 0.900. So that is it. Don't be confused with this one. We did that because we cannot write 10 here. We have to write 0, then we shift the remainder to the next, number. That is how we do it. So now let's move on to the next set of numbers. So you can see that these numbers are numbers set that, it is 0 point something, 0 point something. Now let's move on to numbers like this. We have to run this one to, two significant figures. And the number is 45.243. Now let's quote our rule here, to identify the first significant figure. You should know that the first significant figure is the first non-zero number as you move from left to right of a given figure or number. So as you move from left to right, this direction, the first number that you see, which is not 0, is the first significant figure. So in this case, 4 is going to be the first significant figure. And the moment you get your first significant figure, the preceding numbers, they all become significant. So this is the first, this is the second. So that means that if you are to run this number, or we have to correct this one to two significant figures, we have to land on this 5. Now we check the number behind. The number behind is going to be 2. This decimal point shouldn't worry you. 2 is still the number behind. Now we know that 2, it falls within the range 0 to 4. So we are not going to add 1 to this 5. So we're going to get 45. You don't have to bring 0.0. If you do that, you've changed, the number of significant figures. So rounding this number to two significant figures is going to be 45. That is it. Let's move on to the next one. To 4 significant figures, this is obviously going to be the first one. So the second, the third, and the fourth. So that's going to be 6. The 6. Let's check the number behind. That is going to be 7. 7 falls within the range 5 to 9. So that means we have to add 1 to this 6, making 7. So our answer is going to be 689.7. So that is it. You have been able to correct this number to 4 significant figures. Let's come to the other one. That is to 3 significant figures. So this is our first. I don't have to underline that. So that's our first, our second, our third. So that's going to be here. Now, the number behind is going to be, 9. That is 9. So you have to add 1 to 6, making 7. So our answer is going to be 5.57. So that is to 3 significant figures. Let's check the last one for this set. And that is to 5 significant figures. So let's check. So this is going to be the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth. So we land here. And the number behind is going to be 9. Interestingly, we have to add, 1 to this 9 to make 10. Remember that we can't write the 10 here, so we write 0, like I've been saying. Now we shift the 1 to this one. Still, this is going to be 10. So we write 0 once again. We shift the 1 to this. This is going to be 10. We write 0. Now we shift the 1 to this one. Remember to bring the decimal point. So, 2 plus 1 is going to be 3. So that's going to be 13.000. So our answer is 13.000. So that is, 5 significant figures. Let's move on to the last set, which is for whole numbers. So all these numbers are whole numbers. Let's see how we can also round these numbers to stated number of significant figures. Now, we have this number here to 2 significant figures. So, like we all know, the first significant figure is the first non-zero number from, the left to right of a given number. So the first non-zero, meaning not 0. That means that's going to be this 6. That's the first significant figure. So automatically, 8 is going to be, the second significant figure. So we have to land here. So we check the number behind, and that's going to be, 9. You have to add 1 to this 8 because it falls within the range. So if you add 1 to this 8, it's going to be 9. So this is what we're going to get. We have 6, 9. And do you know what happens? The remaining numbers here, 9, 4, 7, 2, they'll all be turned to zeros. So that's going to be 4 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is how we do it. For whole numbers, we change the remaining numbers to zeros. And these zeros, we call them the trailing zeros. Take note of that. Now let's move on to the next one. Very significant figures. So let's get our third significant figure, and that's going to be the first, the second, and the third. So that's going to be here. So the number behind is going to be 5. Still within this range, we have to add 1 to 9. So here is going to be 10. So write 0. We shift the 1 to this, making 5. So that means we're going to get 9. Remember, we didn't alter this one. We didn't change this one. So there is 4, which has 10 to add 5. And this 9 is also 0. Now, what happens to these digits? The 3 digits here. They all be turned to 1, 0. So we have 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3. So now let's move on to the next question. That is to 4 significant figures. So this is the first, the second, the third, and the fourth. We align here. The number behind is going to be 3. 3 is falls within this range. It's not up to 5. So we don't add 1 to this 4. So we're going to get 4, 7, 3. We maintain this 4 just like that. And the numbers left behind, these are the numbers. 3, 2, 7, 1. They'll all be turned to zeros. So we have 4 zeros here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are the trailing zeros. You have to attach them. Now the last one, to 1 significant figure. Very interesting. Now, this is the number that we are talking about. That's the first significant figure. So we check the number behind, and that is going to be this number. 9. 9 is within the range, the second range. So you have to add 1 to this 9. So that's going to be 0, because we're going to get 10. We'll write 0. Then we shift the 1. Remember, we don't have any number here, so we just write 1 here. Now, what happens to these, numbers? They will all be 10 zeros. So that means we're going to get 10, and the remaining numbers 10 to zeros. So they're going to be 1, 2, 3. So the new number is 10,000. Thank you for watching.